Hi everyone, welcome to your first late night math video of the year. Reporting to you from Glenside Middle School at 5:30 p.m. And as you know, the general rule is if Mrs. LeBan is here past 5 o'clock, you already know what time it is. All right, so today's purpose of the video is for my 5th period class. So we are looking at reviewing how to graph lines in slope-intercept form. So we covered this today. Just wanted to touch base with some of you guys because I know there were still some questions at the end of the class period. So let's go ahead. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel. All right, so slope-intercept form looks like this, okay? So it's y equals mx plus b. Now, when we identify what that m and what the b are, I know that m represents slope, okay? So m represents our slope, and our b represents our y-intercept here. So we know that that's in every single slope-intercept equation. So if I was looking at this equation here, I know that my slope would be 2, so that would be written like this. It's also sometimes helpful to write it as a fraction because we actually move in the direction of the fraction. For example, if we were assigning this slope of 2 to a line, that means we would go up 2 and we would go right 1. Okay, our y-intercept here is 6. So that's the first thing that we're going to graph on our coordinate plane. Let's go ahead and take a look at an example. Actually, hang tight. Something I noticed in class today is that we were moving in various directions given a slope. So let's make sure that we touch base and we're all on the same page here. If I gave you a slope of 1, something that's helpful is if you write that as a fraction, it's equivalent, which is 1 over 1. That means we're going up 1, right 1. Okay, because it's positive, we know that we'll be going up and we'll be going right. If I gave you the slope of 3/4, that's already in a fraction, so cash money, we're good to go. That means that you'll be going up 3 and right 4. Because they're both positive, you know you're going to be going up 3, right 4. Now, if you have a negative slope like this one here with negative 1/3, you've got 2 options. So we know that it looks like this, okay? You can either go up 1, left 3, so that at least one of your directions is negative, or this is what I usually do, is I will go down 1 and then right 3. As long as one of your directions is negative based on this right here, you're good to go. Let's make sure that that actually makes sense in the context of graphing a real line. So if we're looking at this example here, first of all, it's important that I'm able to identify the different components of my equation before I graph it. So like I know that my y-intercept will be 1 and my slope will be 5. Well, we always start by plotting our y-intercept, which is 1. So I'm going to go to my y-axis here and I'm going to plot a 1. Then I need to apply my slope, which is a positive 5. Now think back to 2 seconds ago. I know that you remember because you're not old like me. If we have the number 5, we can rewrite that as 5 over 1. So that means I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'm going to go right 1. Okay, and then you can connect with the line. Notice that you could also go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and left 1 because this is what it would look like. You went down 5, left 1. Those are both negatives, but then they cancel out, so it actually works out. And hopefully your line would look a little bit better. All right, let's try again. So looking at this equation in slope-intercept form, I know that my y-intercept right here, which is b, is negative 3. And then I know that my slope, which is represented by m, is a negative 1/2. The first thing that I always need to do when I'm graphing a line in slope-intercept form is to plot my y-intercept. So I know that's a negative 3. I'm going to come over here, 1, 2, 3. Boom, good. Then I need to apply my slope. So I'm going to show you both ways to do that. It's a negative 1 over 2. So I've got 2 options. I can either go down 1, right 2, or I can go up 1 and left 2, as long as one of your directions is negative. Okay, that line is much better. All right, last one. Let's say I gave you the line y equals x. This is something that you're going to see a lot of times in your 9th grade classes, so keep that in your mind. So the first thing it says to do is to plot my y-intercept. Well, truthfully, I don't see a constant in my equation, so I don't even see a y-intercept. Hopefully you're starting to say in your head, like, Miss Leman, calm down. It's really plus 0 because it's not written and we don't need to write plus 0. So if you don't see like a +3, a -5 or whatever, that means that your y-intercept is going to be 0. And yes, you do need to plot that on the graph. Okay, done. Now my slope. If you're saying again, Miss Leman, I do not see a number. What is that invisible coefficient in front of x? And hopefully you're saying, excuse me, that is 1. That means that my slope is 1, which we know we can write as a fraction as 1 over 1. So starting at my y-intercept of 0, I'm going to go up 1 over 1. Got it. Up 1 over 1. And you can keep going forever and ever. And then you would connect with the line. So that's pretty much it. So ladies and gentlemen, just to make sure that we're all on the same page, when we're looking at lines in slope-intercept form, our last number, which is our constant, represents our y-intercept. That's the first thing that we plot on our y-axis. We then apply our slope, which we know that we can write as a fraction to kind of help us with our movement. If we have a whole number like an integer here, like the number 1, we can rewrite that as 1 over 1 to kind of guide our movement within the coordinate plane. If you've got a fraction already, that's pretty simple. And then if you have a negative number, remember that you just need to make one of those directions negative. When you're given an equation something like this, y equals 1/2 x minus 3, I'm going to show you one more time how to do it just to make sure that we're solid in our understanding. We always start with our y-intercept first by plotting that. So we go down 1, 2, 3 is a -3. And if my slope is -1/2, I have two options. I can either go down 1 and right 2, or I can go up 1 and left 2, and you can connect with the line. So I hope that you enjoyed Late Night with Mrs. Levan here at Glenside Middle School. It is currently 5:41, and I do need to go home soon, but I'm not done with your game for tomorrow. So I hope that you have a wonderful day, and I hope that this helped. Peace, love. See you later. See you tomorrow. And be on time, please.